It's early. I've eaten one cookie. It's colder than mold. It's this cold. I brought out my gloves. Here we are. Seoraksan National Park, knew it all along. We're gonna climb too much. Chris is gonna owe me so much food. It's okay. We're in a very food heavy area, so it'll be great. Not right now, like actually, but like in the future. Little worried. Lots of bear imagery going on here.
Right here. Here's what we got.
Bear statues.
Got this bear statue.
Bear iconography or
iconography. What word is that?
Just stressed it wrong.
So yeah, we're here at Seoraksan National Park. We're going to be hiking a couple of trails. We're going to start off with the Ulsanbawi Rock Trail. I think that's one of the longer and more popular trails here at the park. It's supposed to be pretty manageable till the very end, where there's a bunch of stairs to get up to the top of the mountain. But we should be treated with some spectacular views at the top. Along the way, we're going to see a cool temple with a giant Buddha, and I'm sure, look at like these beautiful mountains. I'm sure we're just going to be surrounded by. When I picture Korea in my head, I don't think of like giant towering mountains. I think of it as pretty flat, which is definitely wrong, because even in Seoul, you're surrounded by tall mountains there even.
So yeah, which is terrible for mountains.
Right, so we're excited to explore this national park today, so come along for the ride and check it out with us. So one of the popular things to do here in Seoraksan is to ride the cable car up to the top of this mountain. There's like a fortress up there. But unluckily, they closed the cable car just a couple of days ago for maintenance, so we don't get to enjoy that experience. But we do have plenty of other things to do here. So maybe 5 minutes down the way from the main entrance, there is a giant Buddha statue you could see behind us. It's pretty cool, especially with the backdrop of the giant mountains, especially with the fall colors right now too. It's very pretty. And right nearby as well, there's also a temple, the Sinheungsa Temple. We're gonna check that out later in the day, because you can actually sort of see it from where we are right now, right in the background past this bridge over here. This is sort of the crossroads for a lot of the trails that we're looking at doing today. So we'll be back down here, but we figured while the park's emptier, it'd be nice to do the popular Ulsanbawi Rock Trail. So let's go hit the trail. We're about halfway through the length of the trail, but not even close on the elevation. You can see behind us, got some stone steps. I think they become wooden steps later on, but I think the rest of the trail is going to be just stairs and stairs and stairs and stairs. So we're going to be exhausted when we get to the top. Made it to the first major checkpoint here. This is the Heundeulbawi Rock. You can hear some little chanting behind us. There's a temple here that you can meditate at. We need to meditate to make it up this. You can see we got 1 kilometer left, but it's just uphill. So, you ready, Lisa? Let's do it. Okay, we're at our last big set of stairs. It's not like just this section, it goes all the way around up there.
Past where we can see.
Oh yeah, we still have a good ways to go as far as stairs go, but this is the last little section.
Can't call it little.
Distance-wise, yeah, distance-wise, we're getting there. Height-wise, this is a pretty steep section. We're kind of regretting our decisions a little.
This was Chris's decision.
Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. After this one, our legs are gonna be toast. So let's finish this incline up. I'm not looking forward to this climb back down, Lisa.
No, some of the steps are like, the rock steps are like super skinny.
They're very narrow and they're very uneven too. I wish they were all just these wooden steps, but no, the stone steps are a bit narrow. It's gonna be tricky getting down. So close to the top. Lisa, can you feel it? Too determined to answer. All right, we have finally made it to the top of the Ulsanbawi Rock Trail. There are so many stairs on that last section. It took so long. We were watching like all trails to see our progress. At the beginning, we were like, Lisa was like, Lisa was like, man, how long is this hike gonna be? And I was like, we're already like halfway through distance-wise, and it had only been like 30, 40 minutes.
But that was horizontal distance, not vertical distance.
Yeah, the last section is just stairs, so many stairs. It was very challenging, but these views are spectacular. Looks like there's two viewing platforms. We're sort of on the eastern south side, and I think there's another one back over here to look the other way. So we're gonna enjoy the views before we take the very treacherous trek back down. Here's Sokcho, where we're staying. You can see pretty far away. So we're on the descent now. It's pretty tricky between the top of the mountain and here at Heundeulbawi Rock. We sort of glanced over this on the way up because we didn't want to stop too long. We wanted to finish the hike, but about maybe 3/4 to 2/3 of the way up, there's this cool little shrine, and there's also a big rock back here that's known as that's actually the rock that's this area is named after, but it's called the Logan Rock, right, Lisa?
Yep.
And what did they say? What was the cool thing about it?
It's completely weathered away from the ground underneath it, so it will wiggle.
Ah, so you could technically move it. So that's probably what people are doing back here, trying to line up to see if they can push the rock and get it to wiggle a little bit. So it's a nice little rest break, especially for us coming down. It was so tricky. What do you like? How would you rate going up versus going down?
Going up is definitely hard.
Right, we took so many breaks.
Because you've already gone up.
The biggest problem is both of our legs are so wobbly, and the steps aren't even at all. They're narrow, they're uneven.
Steps and there's the stone steps.
True, they have even
Some
stairs.
are even,
the stone stairs are horrible to climb down. But we're making it, and I think if I recall, this is sort of the beginning of where it got really hard on the incline. So I think down from here shouldn't be as bad. So there's one more stop that we're going to take a look at on the way down. That's going to be the temple. So that's fairly close to the trailhead, and we'll see you guys down there next.
I don't think it moves.
Okay, so we have made it to the, what I have dubbed the concrete section of the trail. There's sort of like this first on the way going up, it's all concrete for just a little under halfway. Then it turns into flat gravel, still very easy. Then cobblestones, and then skinny, uneven stone steps. And then finally, the Stairmaster 5000. Oh my gosh,
Where
that
no
was
flat area is bigger than 4 feet long.
that was the trickiest part. But we are on the home stretch. We're going to check out the temple before we finish up this trail, and then afterwards,
So we're getting food.
finally time to get food. All right, well, we are near the bottom of the trail. Another thing that we sort of skimmed over on our way up was this temple here. I think it's pronounced the Sinheungsa Temple. It's a beautiful temple with a pretty big footprint here in the national park. It's right at the start of the trailhead. Oh man, this hike was exhausting. Definitely worth it for the views up top. We are worked up an appetite now though, so we're going to head back to the main area near the entrance of the park. There's several restaurants and stalls in the area to get some food, so we're looking for lunch now, and then afterwards we'll see what our energy levels are like and decide if we're going to go on another one of the easier hikes here in the park, or if we're just calling it a day even, because both of us are exhausted right now. But yeah, definitely a hike I would recommend. I'm not the most fit person in the world, and I was able to finish the hike. Lisa was able to finish the hike. We both feel accomplished at least. We'll check in with you guys after we eat, and we'll let you know what we're doing later this afternoon. We had some very satisfying food at a little cafe right outside of the national park. I had some delicious bibimbap, and Lisa had some spicy tofu soup.
Don't officially recommend because I think you're not technically supposed to re-enter, but the man was like, okay.
Yeah, we didn't know if we could re-enter with our ticket that we bought earlier, but they let us through.
But I don't think
that's the norm.
Yeah, so.
Now we are doing our second hike and final hike of the day. We're doing the Biryong Falls Trail. I believe this is the second most popular hike here in the park. It's supposed to be significantly less strenuous than the first hike we did, but you can make it more strenuous because there's a set of stairs at the end of the hike we're doing to go up to see a little observatory. But I think that's again just a bunch of stairs, and we're not about that life again. So we're gonna check out these waterfalls, and then we'll catch you guys before we leave the park.
spit it out. Just spit it out like you're a fountain. Like,
All right, as you can see, Lisa and I have made it here to Biryong Falls behind us. This hike was significantly easier than the Ulsanbawi Rock Trail, but it was still a bit of a strenuous hike. It was like...
It's mostly because we already did a strenuous hike and we don't have ankles anymore.
That's fair. Yeah, it's like, this hike I think is still like 500 some feet of elevation gain, and...
It's a lot of bridges.
Yeah.
Be ready for bridges with large gaps in them.
Yeah, and there's a really cool suspension bridge above the first waterfall that you actually passed through. It was another very pretty little waterfall, and that bridge was quite springy.
And recently we went across a suspension bridge back home in Georgia, and it was so much spookier and like swayier, but this one is like tied straight to a mountain, so that's a little spooky.
Yeah, that was when we were at the Toccoa River, and that bridge did swing more, but this one, you're higher up too.
Right.
And it's a little longer,
they just drilled it into the side of the mountain. You just look, where am I attached to? Ah, the wall of the mountain.
Right.
So wonderful.
Yeah, but overall this trail is definitely very manageable, even after hiking
and womanageable.
Even after hiking the Ulsanbawi Rock Trail. That trail just was
terrible.
So much work.
Terrible.
Definitely do that hike first though, so you can gauge your energy level after, because that one's like 1,800 or almost 1,900 feet of elevation gain.
That was my idea to do it first.
Yeah.
It was a good idea.
That was smart.
There's no way we would have turned around.
Right.
Just straight up turned around.
Yeah, but this trail also totally worth it. The waterfalls that you pass through are great. The stairs are much more manageable than that first trail.
And there's a second bigger waterfall that's just 0.4 miles away. It's one of those lies.
It's right over here. So like Lisa was saying, there's another trail to see a third waterfall, 0.5 kilometers away, but it is just stairs all the way up to a little observatory. And Lisa and I, when we were making the schedule, I said, maybe we'll do that time permitting. And then I was like, nope, we're definitely not doing that today.
I was like, no.
I
said, no, we're not doing this one, and look where I am.
That's true.
I am living a rough life.
But yeah.
Unbelievable. Oh, that wind is cold.
Yeah.
Now that I stopped hiking, I didn't put my jacket back on.
Right.
Because that wind just took away all my heat.
Yeah. But overall, 2 great hikes here at the park. There are plenty more to do. We'll talk about it though when we get back and tell you guys what we thought of the park when we get back into Sokcho. All right, Lisa and I have made it back here to our hotel in Sokcho after spending pretty much all day hiking in Seoraksan National Park.
What time is it?
It's like 8:30, 8:45.
I legit could fall asleep in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, we got back a little while ago, and then we actually went out for some dinner and some food, and even right when we got back, we probably both could have just lied down and passed out. We were both pretty tired. But yeah, we had some pretty interesting food here in Sokcho. You will have probably already seen that episode, though. That was the episode that came out before this one, so if you haven't, definitely check that one out to see what kind of food and adventures we got up to here in Sokcho proper. I thought Seoraksan National Park was beautiful. So many mountains again.
Oh my goodness, so many mountains.
Right? I never expected South Korea to have so many huge mountains.
You planned for us to climb up one of the mountains. I left so much of my will on the mountain.
Yeah, that Ulsanbawi Rock Trail was exhausting, but it was a lot of fun. Definitely something I would recommend doing if you're in South Korea for an extended period of time. Check out the Sokcho area, and especially check out that Seoraksan National Park. Any final thoughts, Lisa?
Oh my goodness, I'm so tired.
You look like you're in a coffin almost.
Oh my goodness. I don't want to be in a coffin, but I do want to be in this bed. Exactly where I am.
It's like the greatest reward for all of the hiking that we did is just finally getting to relax. But that's going to be it for our adventures here in Sokcho because we have to wake up really early tomorrow morning. We're going to be taking another express bus back to Seoul, and we're going to be hanging out in there for the day. This time we're going to check out the south part of Seoul in the Gangnam area, mainly because we got tickets to
Cirque du Soleil.
Yep.
Alegria.
That's right. We got tickets to go see Alegria from Cirque du Soleil over there. So we're going to be hanging out in that part of the city for most of tomorrow. So yeah, that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and also ring that notification bell so you could be notified when our next episode comes out. And until next time, guys, cheers.